And here's the reality. Online fraud cost retailers over 40 billion. That is a scary figure, right? And it wasn't just the big players, it was also the small to medium-sized businesses.
Yeah.
So you can tell like hackers do not discriminate, right?
So some of the typical things that I've seen happen with WooCommerce sites that really affect WooCommerce store owners, or even just say Shopify, same thing, is that gateways are now charging fees up to 20 to 50% for each failed transaction. So let's say you have 100 failed transactions in 5 minutes. That adds up really quick. Bots are getting so sophisticated that they're rotating IPs and mimicking human behavior patterns to make it even harder for web developers or people, system admins to combat them. So the success rate doesn't matter. It's the volume that kills your margin.
And I would say they're more common with the lower tier payment gateways, right? If you run like a top tier payment gateway, and by that I mean something like Stripe or Authorize.net, you're not as prone to these attacks. So they're essentially always on alert with their entire network. And if they see malicious activity from an IP address, it gets blocked throughout the whole network.
So there's multiple layers of security, I think, that need to be added to a e-com, or let's just talk about WooCommerce because I'm talking about Shopify a little bit different because they have their own processing, probably a little bit better in that.
And you
Okay.
automatically get that radar technology. And they were, they had a better rate with PayPal, but it ended up paying off because Stripe caught so much more fraud that they were saving about $2,000 a month on
Yeah.
fraudulent activity. Here's the deal though, and just kind of moving on security. Security isn't just about blocking hackers.
Don't pay for cheap hosting.
Don't pay for cheap hosting. Shared hosting, the $10 a month hosting, which is essentially shared, that's a big no-no because potentially your site can get hacked. Much higher chance of it getting hacked.
Like if you're going to get hosted by somebody, one, make sure they're not a reseller, they're a legitimate host. If they're not a legitimate host, that they're a partner, like with Pressable or WordPress.com, for example.
Or CDN service, specifically Cloudflare and Sucuri. Those are my favorite too. One as your remediator, the other one for security and speed, right? And also, like, I can't stress enough how important 2FA is.
That
Even though,
stops them in their tracks.
yeah, it's like getting in your car and not putting a seatbelt on is what not
Yeah.
having 2FA is, I feel like. Well, I mean, I guess if anybody's listening out there, I'm going to throw a challenge out there, and that is start with a 2FA update. If you're not using two-factor authentication, get it done today.